Hey, it's okay?
And I heard you got the NPR story.
Huh? Oh, thanks.
That was really cool.
All right. I learned some more since then. Huh? What's that?
I know that guy. This the border stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
I learned the ACLU lawyer that they sent me to. They like conjured her up while I was with the Terrorism Liaison Office. I think they I had a badge in the back, and I saw the officer called that in, and they made these fake characters while I was in their custody.
Made fake characters.
Like a fake Border Patrol agent.
Okay. Who did? I mean, the Border Patrol or?
No, I think that it was the Terrorism Liaison Office.
Okay.
When they opened my trunk, I had like a badge for the documentary I was making, this Ein Berliner 9 badge in the back. So I saw at the end of the video, like an hour and a half later after they broke into the trunk, this guy comes over and he's looking at it and he's talking to some other agent. So he's like, oh, that bat's not interesting. But this badge is. So he calls. He says, oh, he takes a picture of it and sends it to this office. And I was in their custody for 10 hours. And while I was in there, they created this fake whistleblowing agent, and they had him stay and make a the astroturfing video at that same station. Just waving some guys through, say, "Oh, your constitutional rights are valid," and motions them through. I think she mentioned him on their story.
Okay.
But then, while I was in there, this guy emails me and says, "Oh, your rights were violated. Contact this ACLU lawyer." And then, I didn't contact him back because I was like, well, maybe he's investigating me for something. He's a Border Patrol agent. But he also contacted this Terry Bressy guy, the other guy who makes a lot of these checkpoint videos, and then he sent me to that same lawyer while I was in there. I guess this fake whistleblowing guy emails this Terry Bressy guy, and so then he contacted me, and before I got out and to the hotel, he had emailed me and go to this lawyer, she'll help you out. But I'm pretty confident she was just kind of part of their thing, investigating me for.
Really an ACLU lawyer.
She does ACLU stuff. I've seen her doing other stuff, but I think she was an intern at that time. They've got her listed as going to some other colleges, and I see her doing other stuff. But I think she was working with them. She kept on emailing me, and I was like, oh, wait, we've got several whistleblowers that are gonna give me inside information while I was talking with her. And then later, it's really obvious, I guess, that the one first guy that contacted me was not a Border Patrol agent. So then I kind of started investigating that other guy, the Terry Bressy guy, and then had noticed, some of the other people he's promoting are making just, obviously kind of fake videos because, this other guy, was Gavin Sign. They had invited me to get in this checkpoint contest, maybe a year before, several months before, maybe April or whatever. And he was in this contest, and I noticed they had several people from this contest that are now, I guess they're obvious. It's kind of obvious to me that they weren't really, entered the contest on their own. I think they just kind of made up this contest to, make up news or whatever. But yeah, I had seen this other guy who won the contest. He's in police stations and kicking in the door, and then they've got some other guys who are obviously fake guys, oh, we're gonna flush the Constitution down the toilet and stuff. But I was just kind of following that trail over the last year just to see, just kind of get a better idea of. I guess the story goes a lot deeper than I had thought it did in the first place too. So I had just reported that one ACLU lawyer to the bar. I was calling around and see what I could do about that. And then I had another, who is it? They have a guy who used to run the Lukeville port of entry. He had he was talking to me. He's like, "Oh, make sure all the cameras off. It's be quiet." And he's like, then he was telling me I could work with law enforcement making these fake videos, and he's like, I get whatever I want, and he's got some other girl sitting by her, and he's like squeezing her tits, and say, what kind of girls do you like? What kind of food do you like? And then he's like, you can make $200,000 a year going around working with law enforcement making these videos, and then
what's their incentive to make the videos?
I think that they're just kind of trying to control the stories from all different sides, and and then I brought up that ACLU lawyer because I thought he'd know more about it. He was like a head chief of police in Boston and also ran that port of entry down there. But I see them making several videos that are obviously fake at these checkpoints. Most of them I see are fake, and like these cop block people, most of them are fake. When I go look at it, and then he says, "Well, don't talk about that. Just keep that ACLU lawyer thing quiet. Just shut up about that." And the next day, I got a team with this Warrior Poets project. He's working with Morgan Spurlock and some other. This Matt Testa calls me and interviews me, and they want to do some kind of show on the country music television for some freedom fighter show going through checkpoints, and he's talking about that. And I kind of brought up that ACLU lawyer because I didn't really want to cover that up myself, so I hadn't heard back from them after that.
Huh? Feeling a little better on the fever?
Huh? Yeah.
A little better on the fever?
Yeah.
Got some sort of virus blood, Monday flu or something.
That's right. It went away. You guys, what kind of forums are you on now? Just a hardbat one? Did they got rid of most everything? The My Table Tennis?
Very little.
Do they have anything anymore? That
well, there's the Yahoo group, but I don't really follow it much. Yeah, I never like it.
Got modernized anyway. In fact, I think it works. There's the Oak Forum, but it's.
I drop in every month or two just to see if there's been anything.
There's like one post per month.
Yeah, My Table Tennis sometimes has hardbat discussions, but I've gotten so tired of that group of people that I just bow out. My Table Tennis stuff.
It's the thread though.
It is. It can be, but I usually don't enter it that way. You have to actually enter it a different way. You can see the groups, but I don't know that there's a hardback that does it. There's equipment groups. We might subdivide it by long tips or short tips or whatever. But even then, you can follow a particular topic if it's interesting. But again, the regular actors, I just got tired of it. I kind of came to the conclusion this is not productive in any reasonable way, and it's also not really entertaining anymore. That's where Bernd goes in there and ruffles feathers on My Table Tennis.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
maybe I will get my... I don't even remember my password.
Yeah. He's actually, I think, converted a few people over to they finally get that he's not... Don't take me literally. I'm having fun with words and the thing, and just don't take it literally. When he says that sponge is horrible, whatever he says, however he says it, doesn't mean it literally. He is criticizing it, but anyway. So I think some people have kind of caught on or are more tolerant. I have a hard time even, chiming in to help him because it's like what he says is absolute baloney. It's ridiculous. I can't, but so I just kind of have at it, have fun. If you're enjoying this, great. But anyway, I found that I'll get involved, I'll make a response, and you realize that I spent 2 hours over 2 or 3 days on something that means nothing. So I just don't go there. Or even in the discussions that are better, it's like, so what do we come to the conclusion? What do we? It's just really. So I go home and I'll do something constructive in the house. You go and get some?
I'll pull out the box so I can check it. 222. Yeah, what do we play?
Oh, I don't play.
You don't play, I play it.
Yeah.
4. Check.
I'm done until tomorrow.
What are they open till 9? Or they have their matches till 9 tonight, or?
I don't know how late, but probably 8 or 9ish. I
8
know
or
they're
9?
starting earlier than they used to. They're starting as early as 8.
And single elimination.
What events you playing in?
The only thing I have left is the hard bat open.
Oh, okay.
You playing?
No, not at this time. I just kind of stopped up at last minute. Got like 3 free days from the Palace Station, and I was like, oh, they're having the tournament now. I thought I'd come by and take a couple pictures.
Palace Station, is that a hotel casino?
What's that? Yeah.
Palace Station is a hotel casino.
Yeah. They gave me 3 days earlier this year too. I went there for maybe 2 days. Then in Laughlin, I had I think I paid for that one for $20. I got.
I was wondering if I have a picture of Wanda's blinged out blade.
What is it? Somebody, what they changed my? I had I must have had 1 million web pages on GoDaddy, and suddenly they decided, oh, you can only have 250,000. So it took down 750,000 pages, and they're like, oh no, you can't have pictures on any of those web pages. Like, what the hell? So then I just cleared out the whole thing. It's like,
So did you have it backed up?
huh?
Did you have it archived?
I at first I started I was like, I don't have time to. They gave me like 3 days to get this, to get all this down. It's like, so then I didn't do anything. Then a month later they just took everything down, but let me manipulate it with the FTP. So then and that was like real slow. It was take about a second a page. It's like 1 million seconds. Let's see, that's going to be a long time. So I went through and
If you had 1
cleared
million
out
pages, that's quite a few. I can see how that might be an issue for you.
It was. I was like, well,
It said unlimited.
I was like, it's unlimited space and space unlimited.
1 million is less than unlimited.
I think they must have, but it's like I had I had more than 250,000 pages 10 years ago. So it's like I suddenly checked it or whatever. So it's like, oh, okay. It's like, I guess we'll reorganize.
Well, yeah. Well, the interesting thing about WordPress is that there really aren't that many pages. Because
this was actually iodes, I guess. So it was that's what they call it. I think that's, and they were like, if it was Microsoft, like a Microsoft server, you could have 500,000 and 250 iodes, and I was like, what the hell is an iode? I don't know what that is. IODE. There was there was some other something.
Anyway, I think the way WordPress works is it actually dynamically generates the HTML as you make the request. So there is no HTML page sitting there. When you make a certain request, it goes, whoop, calculates it out and spits out HTML, which is there virtually or dynamic for you. So you can tell when you're on a WordPress or a similar type site because there's no .html, there's just a folder path.
Oh yeah, and they also stat folder can't have more than 10,024 files in it. And I couldn't have so I couldn't have any
1,024 or 1,000?
1,024.
1,000. Yeah, makes more sense.
They're like 1,024. They're like this. I don't know if they like shifted me to a different kind of service or whatever, or got that confused or whatever. It's like, why all of a sudden do I have to take all these down?
Got infiltrated by a border.
Yeah. It was like it was. I was like, they got the COINTEL Pro after me now. I guess they try to keep you shut up, huh?
All you saw earlier.
Yeah.
Get your pages back.
Yeah.
2:30. I think we gotta start hitting. Maybe see if I can find Jeff.
See if we can get some semblance of order.
I'm sitting here getting stiff. Oh, I forgot.
I did something that I very rarely have any injuries, and I'm not sure I classify this as an injury, but the strangest thing, I was playing about 2 weeks ago, and I was having a really good workout. This guy was really fast, and I just remember he hit a ball that was a little outside my range. I stretched a little bit, and I just felt my neck just tighten. Tight ever since.
I know that I have issues with some nerve spasms, so in the morning.
It's not a nerve pain, it's not a sharp pain, it's just tight. It's been that way for a couple weeks.
Every morning I do what I call cherry picking. This is my own version. I just stretch, try to get that line all the way up, and I just go back and forth and do that about 10, 20 times.
You're going to do those exercises, remember?
Does he have some? Yeah.
Well, you should talk to him sometime about this. They're really amazing.
Are they?
There's a name for them. They're named after this German guy who invented them like back in the 40s or something. And they're the most bizarre exercises. And this German doctor's belief was that we actually have a lot more range of motion than we think we do. But a lot of times when we try to turn a certain way and we can't turn anymore, it's not because we can't, it's because our brain is telling us that we can't.
Right. So it stops us.
And so these exercises are geared at disassociating your brain from your movement.
Okay.
And Herman knows them inside and out, and he can have you do things that you didn't think you could do.
Okay.
And I can't do them because I don't know.
Right.
He'll say, okay, turn like this, show me how far you do it. And then he'll do something like, okay, now
touch your nose.
Now do this other thing and then do this.
Yeah.
And then you're like, whoa, you went way past what you could do.
Wow.
And so he is extraordinarily limber. Like he can touch the ground with his hands flat. And he said never in his life could he even touch his toes. But just a little bit of these exercises and he can go flat with the ground.
Have to talk about it.
And so he can do all this range of motion stuff, and he's not one of these like Chinese acrobats or something that have the disease and can't do that. He just did these exercises, which these exercises they're not just low impact, they're no impact.
No, that's right. It's like yoga.
They're not. No, they're less than yoga.
Less than yoga.
They're way less than yoga.
Okay.
They're like little tricks.
It's because frankly, I'm a little concerned about my posture, my neck, and all that. I'm thinking, 20 years down the road, this little issue could become a big issue.
Yeah.
And so I pay attention to it.
Ask me about it.
I
I guess it's a little bit controversial, but I was pretty impressed. I have to say.
At least worth looking into.
Yeah, and it's interesting, and you're not going to injure yourself doing any of it because they're all really. You're wondering, why am I doing this?
Right.
And then you all of a sudden you realize, whoa, I twist all right or something.
That's what's talking about it.
Yeah. I can't pronounce the name. I don't remember. It's a long German name, starts with L or something. It's named after. Well, good to see you again.
All right, you too, Scott. All right, see you around. Okay.